Greetings to everyone. So I had promised you guys to make another video about Scientology tactics, what else they're going to try. Since 90% of their fair gaming tactics are illegal, but anyways, I'm not going to digress too much. And the other one that I had made is being, what is that called? Not censored, but it's I think the other video, the initial one that I made, is at 0 views, and I find it very hard to believe that it's at 0 views. So anyways, you guys should go check it out. It was a little bit all over the place, but some of the things I'm going to be saying are redundant because a lot of you guys know this, but I think I might even start a series. I don't know, just because I feel like it. And it is interesting to see the tactics that they use. And I like how, well, anyways, I'm going to be reading that book by Paulette Cooper. Paulette Cooper was a female newscaster reporter back in the day. And Scientology actually tried to take her out, literally. And back then they had a little more power because things were different. And they also had, anyways, things were different back then. And Scientology had more power to do things. And they tried to ruin Paulette Cooper's life. And thankfully she got through it and she never stopped talking. She wouldn't take what is that? I always forget what that's called when you go to court and then they want you to shut your mouth, a gag order or something. She wouldn't take it. So one of the true warriors, that's what I'm talking about. So here are more of the Scientology tactics they are going to use to try to fight what they deem as squirrels or suppressive people. And I do often wonder how many of the people that are engaging in these tactics really know what's going on. You know, maybe if we're lucky, one day we'll see them on the other side of the fence. And I do think that a lot of these Scientologists are engaged in extremely abusive behaviors. So I have mixed feelings on a lot of this stuff. Let's just be real. Some of them are just going to get what's due to them. And it's going to be universal law. All these courts and the freaking clown courts and these little actor police and all that. There are laws that are far more powerful, universal laws. So that's what I'm talking about. And we've already seen this demonstrated several times, but, you know, it's their go-tos. And I'm not going to give too much credence or I'm not going to give too much energy to these play actors because we know who they are. And people have been talking about them. I'm not going to do that. I just, other people are covering that. So the first thing that they're going to utilize or try to use is hate crime. And they've already done that. They did that with, some of the things that had happened with Jessica. Also, where else did I see that? Oh, yeah, they tried. Well, I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. So, dog guy, they tried to make that racial. So, those are, and also, too, I've been studying and researching these things for probably at least 20 years, if not 30. But I didn't really wake up until around 2013, to the real evil. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's always divide and conquer. It's Hegelian dialectic. So, yeah. And also, too, they're going to utilize hate speech, etc. They might even use, hate toward a religion, which Scientology is not a religion. It's unfortunate that a lot of people that are in don't understand that. So, hopefully one day some of them will get out and realize that, as they give them every ounce of their labor and every penny they have, whether they're wealthy or not. I do often wonder what the life of the public Scientologist is like. So anyways, the second one that they're going to use, and I forget the exact term, but it's disturbing noise, like not disturbing the peace, but disturbing noise. They use that at the Scientology Recruiting Center, which is basically closed down now, and they're moving their little show to different places throughout, not just Los Angeles, but the West Coast. Fear for safety. They've already tried that, which to me is really, really funny, as these various characters are in people's face, spitting at them, hitting them with batons, telling them they're going to kill them, etc. Even the very beginning tactics that were done at the recruiting center, all this, the actors, the Scientology actors, are stating that they're in fear for their own safety when they are threatening. They are threatening these. I don't like to call them protesters. I believe I would prefer to call them human rights advocates, and that's it. Invasion of privacy, they've already done that. Oh, you're too close to me, you're invading my privacy, blah, 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 blah. Which sometimes, it's a fine line, guys, just saying. But invasion of privacy, they're going to try that, even though you're on a public street. I kind of laughed when Dog Guy said, what did he say? He said, something like I'm a private citizen or something. Not citizen. It was something that nobody would ever say. So it was so obviously coached. So that was used. Also, just in general statements, they are going to use criminal activity, which we all have been witnessing already. But I mean, they're really amping it up with all the people that have mysteriously had flat tires. And at the end of the day, I think even some of these video recorded crimes in these clown courts, nothing's going to happen. I really do think that. So that's it on that one. Okay, number 6, threat of harm against them. They've already used it, which it was really, really laughable because there was no type of, you could, as you were watching these things take place through Streets LA, through Aaron, and all these other, I can't think of their names right now, but all these other people that were standing outside of the recruiting center, it was very obvious there was no threat of harm to the Scientologists. 0. There was no evidence whatsoever. Yes, they're going to try to twist it, and they're going to try to create a story, but I think at this point it's going to be really, really, really difficult to try to prove that. And we even saw that little, I want to call people names, but I'm going to try to be respectful, even though I don't respect these people. That lawyer that Serge Delmar was following, I forgot his name, Mandel or something. And I found that interesting because it's very similar to Dr. Mengele. Not the same person, but, he's in fear of his safety. He's in fear of his safety, but apparently nobody seems to care about these beautiful, innocent children that are locked up in these schools and locked up in these auditing rooms with full-grown adults asking sexual questions, etc. Children that are being given no maternal or paternal love, that are surrounded by predators. Nobody cares for their safety. Okay, what's the next one? 7, propaganda. We all know that. 8, recreating and staged events like we saw with the Dog Guy and all these other things. We've seen that. We don't have to repeat it over and over. It's pretty obvious. And in a lot of ways, it's actually working in the advocate's favor. It's working in the advocate's favor. And I can assure you, if a lot of the people on the inside of Scientology, especially whole families, which they don't know, like entire families can leave at one time. It's actually possible. But they're in a prison of the mind right now. If they saw these videos and they knew exactly what was happening, a lot of these people would leave, I can assure you. Okay, number 9, resorting to violence. We've already seen that. I don't need to just beat the drum over and over. Number 10 probably relates to what I just said. Well, I mean, I don't know. that's more of a threat to talk about the BOMB, which they did back with Paulette Cooper and the GUN, which apparently I understand from, what's his name? Prince, oh, golly. Prince, the former Scientologist, they're all carrying. And then 11, private property. This is a little bit redundant. I'm going to try to think of other things. But anyways, hopefully that might help somebody, you know. And I'm going to gather some more. But anyways, you know, maybe if it gets a little boring, maybe I won't. But I just do, I'm one of those people, I like to make lists and kind of see things like I frame it. And then I'm also able to see things from like a bigger perspective. It's just how my mind works. So I like to try to help people if possible, and that goes for everyone. Peace.